"We're fucked," the lieutenant's voice cracked over comms as Taliban fighters closed in on their pinned SEAL team in the Korengal Valley. 8 operators trapped, 2 wounded, extraction impossible. Nobody knew that 2,400 meters away, Petty Officer First Class Natasha "Ghost" Kowalski was already settling behind her Barrett M107A1, calculating wind drift that would push her round nearly 40 feet off target, a shot that would require perfect mathematics to save 8 lives. The Hindu Kush Mountains didn't forgive mistakes. Petty Officer First Class Natasha Kowalski understood that better than most as she glass-checked the valley through her Schmidt and Binder scope 2,400 meters from where SEAL Team 4's 2nd Squad was running reconnaissance. At 31, she'd spent 9 years perfecting long-range precision, first as a Marine scout sniper, then through an inter-service transfer to Naval Special Warfare as their first female special operations sniper. Her hide position at 9,200 feet offered commanding overwatch. The Barrett M107A1 beside her weighed 29 pounds. Her spotter, Petty Officer 2nd Class Marcus "Wizard" Thompson, tracked wind patterns through his spotting scope while monitoring their Kestrel 5700 weather meter. Before we continue this story of impossible odds, wherever you're watching from, whether military, veteran, or civilian, subscribe for more accounts of our warriors who changed everything in critical moments. Below, the Korengal Valley stretched like a wound through Afghanistan's Kunar province. The Barrett's mounted Bores, Barrett Optical Ranging System, displayed real-time ballistic solutions. Today, she'd need every technological advantage available. Natasha's path began in Detroit's Polish district, where her grandfather Stanislaw, a home army partisan who survived brutal campaigns in occupied Poland, taught her to shoot on a rusted .22 rifle. "Your grandmother was also a fighter, Natka," he'd say. "She killed 17 Wehrmacht soldiers with captured weapons. Distance is safety. Mathematics is survival." She joined the Marines at 18 after watching the towers fall. By 2010, she'd become distinguished graduate at Scout Sniper School, exceptional for anyone, unprecedented for a woman. Instructors noted her obsessive attention to ballistic mathematics and supernatural patience. The inter-service transfer to Naval Special Warfare came after Syria, 2018. She'd eliminated 6 ISIS fighters at 1,847 meters during a sandstorm using thermal imaging and precise calculations when visual shooting was impossible. Admiral Patterson personally requested her transfer, creating a new billet, Special Operations Precision Marksman. Some teams initially resented her presence. That changed in Helmand when she neutralized a Taliban commander at 1,950 meters through a moving vehicle's window, preventing an ambush that would have killed 12 Marines. Lieutenant Morrison, 2nd Squad's leader, had specifically requested her overwatch for today's mission. Now, monitoring their patrol through encrypted comms while Thompson called wind changes, she sensed trouble building. Her grandfather's words echoed, "The best shot prevents the fight." But sometimes, violence finds you anyway. 3. Systemic public conflict, 300 to 350 words, the ambush erupted at 1,432 hours. Through her scope, Natasha watched muzzle flashes erupt from 3 elevated positions surrounding 2nd Squad. The Taliban had planned perfectly, overlapping fields of fire, no dead space, escape routes blocked. "Contact left, contact right, we're boxed." Morrison's voice cut through automatic weapons fire. 2 casualties, need immediate CAS and medevac. Thompson worked his laser rangefinder while checking the UAV feed on his tablet. Closest hostile, 2,387 meters. Furthest, 2,456 meters. Wind is running 8 knots left, 2,956 meters. The Bores calculated holds automatically, but Natasha double-checked manually. At 2,400 meters, her .50 BMG round would take nearly 3 seconds to impact. Wind drift would push it 12 meters, almost 40 feet, requiring massive compensation. "Ghost has visual on hostile positions," she reported. "Negative, Ghost," Morrison responded between bursts. "Too far for accurate fire. Wait for the Apaches." "Sir, Apaches are 20 minutes out. You have 2 wounded critical." Through her scope, she watched Petty Officer Chen dragging Rodriguez behind inadequate cover, arterial blood darkening the rocks. Taliban fighters maneuvered for better angles. She identified the enemy commander by his radio antenna and controlled movements, probably Haqqani trained. He directed fire from behind solid rock cover, only occasionally exposing himself to coordinate. Thompson whispered target data, Commander, reference large boulder, 2 o'clock. Exposure pattern every 30 to 40 seconds. Maybe 18 inches of target when he leans out. Natasha loaded a Rafas Mk211 armor-piercing incendiary round. The bores showed holes in mills, 15.8 elevation, 4.2 right for wind. She'd have to fire at empty space where mathematics predicted a human would be 3 seconds later. Thompson started counting down the pattern. The mathematics were staggering. At 2,400 meters with variable winds, she'd need to aim at a point in space nearly 40 feet from where the target currently existed. The round would climb hundreds of feet above the target line before gravity pulled it down. 1 mil of error meant missing by 8 feet. Natasha's breathing slowed to 4 breaths per minute. Her heart rate dropped to 42 beats, a biofeedback technique from her grandfather's partisan days hiding from German patrols. Through her earpiece, Rodriguez's gasps grew weaker. Chen reported continuing blood loss despite tourniquets. Morrison called for smoke they'd already expended. Someone, Peters, the kid from El Paso, was praying in Spanish between magazine changes. Her grandfather survived the Warsaw Uprising, making impossible shots with captured German rifles. Her grandmother held a bridge for 2 days with limited ammunition. Polish stubbornness, Stanislaw called it. The refusal to accept mathematical defeat. 20 seconds, Thompson whispered, tracking the pattern through his spotter scope. The Taliban commander moved slightly, shoulder visible for 2 seconds before disappearing. She'd seen enough. His pattern was consistent. Lean out, assess, coordinate, return to cover. Natasha felt the sacred pause between heartbeats her grandfather described, the moment where training, mathematics, and instinct merged. The bores confirmed her holds. Thompson called wind holds. The equation was complete. 10 seconds to exposure, Thompson counted. Ghost, we're black on ammo, Morrison's strained voice reported. Rodriguez is critical. He's got maybe 5 minutes. Chen's hit too, through and through shoulder, losing mobility. Natasha fine-tuned her position. The Barrett's 29-inch barrel perfectly level, bipod locked. She'd get 1 shot before having to displace. Standard sniper doctrine, especially at this range where a muzzle blast would reveal her position. Wind call, she requested. 8 knots valley, 12 up here, shifting to 14, Thompson reported. I glued to the Kestrel. Mirage is boiling hard. Target's going to dance in your scope. The bores updated continuously. 15.8 mils elevation, 4.2 right windage. She'd aim at empty air, trusting physics and mathematics. 5 seconds, Thompson called. Through her scope, the target zone waited, empty space between rocks where a human would exist in exactly 3 seconds. More Taliban fighters appeared, setting up what looked like a DSHK heavy machine gun that would shred the SEAL's cover in seconds. 2 seconds. Morrison's voice, desperate. If anyone's monitoring, we need immediate fire support or we're done. 1 second. The commander's shoulder appeared exactly where predicted. Natasha had already begun her trigger squeeze, that rolling brake at 2.5 pounds her grandfather taught her. The Barrett roared, driving into her shoulder. The Rafas round disappeared into Afghan sky, beginning its 3-second journey across impossible distance. Send it, Thompson whispered, already tracking through his scope for impact confirmation. 3 seconds of eternity. The firefight continued below. The SEALs kept shooting. The Taliban kept advancing. Then the commander's upper torso exploded in a flash of incendiary light. Impact, Thompson confirmed. Target destroyed. Wind call for DSHK gunner. Increase right hold to 4.5 mils. The Rafas round had traveled exactly as calculated, crossing 2,400 meters of variable wind to strike within 6 inches of aim point. The incendiary component created brief panic among nearby fighters. Natasha was already cycling the bolt, loading match-grade ball ammunition. The DSHK gunner, 2,423 meters according to Thompson's laser. She fired. 3 seconds later, he crumpled across his weapon. two fighters rushing Chin's position. Thompson called corrections as she engaged 2,387 meters, 2,391 meters. 2 shots, 8 seconds total. Both targets down before reaching effective range. Without their commander and heavy weapon, the Taliban attack faltered. Natasha engaged 3 more fighters attempting to coordinate, each shot guided by Thompson's wind calls and the Boer's solutions. 7 shots total, 6 confirmed kills at ranges exceeding 2,300 meters. "Ghost, what the hell is happening up there?" Morrison asked, amazement breaking through combat stress. "Displacing in 30 seconds, sir. Recommend you move west immediately." She'd violated sniper doctrine staying in position for 7 shots, but the geometry had been perfect. Through Thompson's spotting scope, they watched remaining Taliban fighters retreating in disorder. The Apaches arrived 12 minutes later, finding only abandoned positions. Second Squad was already conducting KSEVOC. Rodriguez stabilized and Chin mobile. Rodriguez survived. The medevac reached Bagram with 8 minutes before golden hour expired. Chin kept full use of his arm after 4 months of rehabilitation. Second Squad's after-action reports seemed fictional. 7 confirmed kills at ranges exceeding 2,300 meters under combat conditions. At the time, the longest publicly confirmed sniper kill was 2,475 meters by British Corporal Craig Harrison. Natasha's confirmed impacts at 2,456 meters came close to that record, achieved under fire while saving 8 American lives. 3 weeks later, Admiral Patterson presented her with the Navy Cross in a classified ceremony. The citation mentioned extraordinary heroism and exceptional marksmanship under extreme conditions. The BORS data logs and Thompson's spotter confirmations verified every shot. Lieutenant Morrison found her afterward. "Kowalski, that first shot? Threading winds like that. How?" "My grandfather survived the Warsaw Uprising with captured weapons and mathematics," she replied. "He taught me that impossible shots are just equations with conviction." The Taliban thought they had perfect positions. They didn't account for modern ballistic computers and a Polish girl from Detroit who learned that distance plus mathematics equals survival. Thompson added, "She had the shots, sir. I just called the wind. That's what shooter-spotter teams do." Morrison nodded slowly. "The team wants to put you both in for a call sign change. Ghost and Wizard to something else. Which is Guardian Angels. Because that's what you were that day." Natasha thought of her grandfather, gone 5 years now. "Mathematics is survival, Natka?" He would have smiled.
"I just want to take a moment to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you. Folded hands, your love, support, likes, comments, and subscriptions mean the world to me. Without you, this journey wouldn't be possible. Every view, every share, and every encouraging word keeps me motivated to create more content for you all. I'm truly grateful to have such an amazing community by my side. Let's keep growing together and making this journey even more special. Red Heart.